Good evening, viewers, and welcome to this week's edition of Beyond the Headlines. I'm Gordon Joseph. I'm your host for tonight, and as you realize, I've got no one else on the set with me. Now that is interesting. All right, the format for the program tonight is different in that usually we'll have a guest or guests and we have a discussion, and then at some point in time we invite you to share your thoughts and make your comments and ask your questions and so forth. But tonight it's one with a difference. Tonight I am giving you the opportunity to create the headlines. We will write the news. You create the headlines tonight. What are we talking about? Tonight, I want us to look at Grenada's first celebration of Heroes Day, and that's coming up on the 19th. All right, that's this Thursday. So, I'm going to throw out some snippets, and I really want you to do most of the talking tonight. And how we intend to do that, I want you from your various organizations, your professions, your groups, your associations, wherever, from your community, from your parish, I would like you to call in and make a recommendation as to who should be selected as a hero. We know that Heroes Day is coming up. That's the first Heroes Day. It's coming up on the 19th of October. That's this Thursday. Starts with an ecumenical service at the National Stadium. There's also the tolling of bells, and also, the festive part of the celebration later on in the afternoon. Now, a hero is described as a person who is admirable for their courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities. All right, that's what a hero is. At one point in time, I was told that a hero is a dead man. That's not necessarily the truth. All right, and thank you, my producer, for that rendition from Scholar, a hero. Right? Maybe we can take in a little of the music, let people get into the mood. The number that you can call when we open the lines, it's 440-1252. So in your own way, I want you to make wise choices and selections, and not just say, okay, I propose John Doe to be a hero, but you should also say why. All right, so you can say, well, John Doe is from the village of Essequibo, if you want to use that word, if you're Guyanese, and he was admired for his outstanding achievements in the fishing industry, or whatever, in that tone. All right, and let me tell you what is important about this program is that the people who are actually doing the selection for the heroes, they will be listening, so you might just have your choice being one of the selectees. All right, conversations that can be had as well. When the idea came up, I threw it around, and some folks have their distaste about the 19th being celebrated as Heroes Day. There are some folks who are of the opinion that, some people are trying to push the narrative that Grenada's recent history only started from 1979. And there are those who believe that, they are going to leave out all the achievements and the heroics from the Eric Matthew Gary era and so forth. So I really want you to call in and share your thoughts and ideas, and in doing so, make your choice known as to who you'd like to see be selected as a hero and why. So the number that you can call right away off the bat, no long discussion tonight. I'm not going to conduct a monologue. I want you to call in and make your choice, make your suggestion. Let's hear from you. The number 440-1252. While we await the first call, are you happy with the date that has been selected? The 19th of October? Are you happy with that? Or do you have another date proposed, another date that you would have liked to see celebrated as Heroes Day? Who in your community you think should be a hero, given what the dictionary description of a hero is someone who is admired for the courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities. All right, off the bat, a number of people come to mind, but
19th, 2020.
It's not much of my conversation. I'm just going to listen to you.
2023.
All right, so the number that you can call is 440-1252, and I'd really love to hear from you. And it's no denying we have a rich history, very rich history. If you want to go back to colonial times and pre-colonial times, that's fine. But I would think that our more recent history, let's say from just around our independence or a little before that, that would be good. Who can you recommend? Who would you like to see, being portrayed as one of our heroes? Like I said, the number that you can call, it's 440-1252, and doing what we plan to do. I think we do have a first caller on the line. Caller, are you there? Good evening, caller.
Yes,
welcome.
Yes, I am. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing great, and good evening to your followers as well.
Thank you.
I'll answer the last question you asked, because permit me not to recommend a hero, but to say that in terms of the day, based on your definition of a hero that you read, the dictionary definition, I am not certain that what the folks who were on the 4th and the 19th may be considered as genuine heroes by many Grenadians. Some folks may tell you they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and something happened. You cannot trace, in many cases, these people's lives were lost, and we are very hurt. And it's something that we hope will never, ever happen again. But in many cases, innocent people who followed, I would say, the appreciation or admiration for someone, and they were there. But if you say this just by being there and having lost your life makes you a hero, without being able to substantiate the fact that this person had done a lot. It was not an act, I wouldn't say it's an act of bravery. It may be because of partisan support for you personally. You were there.
Okay.
So while their lives are valuable, and some of them I knew personally, many of them I would say, I think that by choosing that day to make it Heroes Day, we are saying very loudly that these people are all heroes because we chose that day. So we can't get away from the fact that we are considering all of them there to be heroes.
So, caller, before you proceed, let me just interject here. I'm deducing that from your narrative, you're not too supportive of the date selected.
No, I am not.
Okay.
Because I think it ties us into a sort of thinking already, it presupposes that these people are all heroes. By using the Day of the Dead as Heroes Day, we're saying that they are all heroes.
Okay.
And I'm not sure that while we acknowledge the loss of life and some of them were brave to be there, some of them were there because other people were there. Some people weren't there with others.
Okay.
I knew of one particular person who went there with another. They just happened to be there with another person, and they died. So I think as we have tied ourselves, we've locked ourselves into that sort of situation there by using that date. And it may not be giving the true essence of who a hero is.
Okay.
And it just to me it's an awkward thing. Probably we should have chosen another day. So if they're of those people who died, we consider to be heroes, then we can still make them heroes. But by using the Day of the Dead as Heroes Day, then we are categorizing every one of them as a hero.
All right, so that is in relation to the date. Now, going back to the definition and the time span that I'm looking at, Grenada has a very rich history. Some folks might like to call it a recent history because 50 years is not quite a lot, okay?
Yep.
Within that time, okay, just before independence, a little before to the present, from your experience, is there someone you'd like to see be celebrated as a hero?
Well, as I said, we have a rich history, and it didn't only begin in 1979. So there are people from before who could be. I mean, there are Grenadians who were famous outside of Grenada. You know, as of course Butler and many other folks. Henri Christophe, for instance, who was one of the I would say the leading persons in the establishment of Haiti. He was rumored to be a Grenadian who went up there as well. So there are a number of people we can look at, but sometimes I think we cloud things and we put it through, narrow lenses when we use a day like this, and we make it look as though that all these people are naturally heroes, and we sometimes cloud the thinking as to exactly who a hero really is.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, caller. Have yourself a good evening. Thanks for calling. All right. Okay, so you heard it from our first caller. I'd love to hear from you. The number 440-1252. As we say locally, give me your 2 pence. What are your thoughts on that date selected, and who would you like to see be celebrated as a national hero here in Grenada? As I said, one of the dictionary's definition is a person who is admired for the courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities. From your society, from your community, from your village, from your organization, who can you recommend? We do have another caller online. Caller, good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Joseph.
Good evening.
I share the sentiments of your first caller. The issue is confusing. It is evident that the people behind this whole issue is unawares of what they're doing, without doubt. But there are a couple other things I'd like to get some clarity on before, probably not today, but another day before I make recommendations. First of all, I'd like to know the criteria, written criteria for what constitutes a hero, not simply your definition. It has to be established. I would like to know, and I think the people of this here country will also like to know, the selectors who in the final analysis will make the selection for the final list. I'd also like to know, this is key, what relationship, pardon, let me put this one first, this one here first, pardon, I retract there on that. Are there any laws, or is there a law established in this country? And if there is, can you tell me, or let the people of this country know, the name of the act or the number of the act and the year, because this sort of arrangement has to be done legally. You're speaking about a legal and nationally established forum for selecting and identifying national heroes. And finally, is there any connection or would there be any correlation between what we select or choose to, who we choose to select as national heroes from our own initiatives and the King's Most Excellencies list of awardees on an annual basis? How would these things coincide? I believe that we have to clarify this issue first before we jump in this manje puppet exercise and wasting the people's time. Have a nice evening, will you, sir?
You too, caller. Have yourself a wonderful evening likewise. Now, another question just popped in my head as the caller was, making his contribution. Do you think it was something that should have gone through a consultative process as to make the determination as the caller intimated? We do have another caller. Good evening, caller. Welcome to the program.
Hello.
Good evening. Yes,
Hello?
I'm hearing you, caller. Go right ahead.
Yeah, good night.
Good evening. How are you?
Yes.
Okay, caller, you need to concentrate
I'm
and listen
good.
to me on the phone, all right? Forget the television or the radio for the moment and communicate with me through the telephone, all right?
Okay, I'll try to call back because I'm getting a problem.
Okay, so you'd call back?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, caller. All right, folks, the number to call is 440-1252. I'd like to hear from you. What are your thoughts, firstly, on the date selected to be celebrated as Heroes Day? Who should be put forward as one of our national heroes? And, just let's have the conversation, because the people who are going to make that final determination, they will be listening, and who knows? Maybe, you'll come up with a suggestion. But I do like some of the comments from the previous caller, the last caller, not the lady, the one before, as it relates to who determines and so forth. We do have a caller. Good evening, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good night.
Welcome to the program.
Yeah. Now, my view is simply this. Heroism may be displayed in different fields of human existence, and no specific date with regards to the cutoff point for the selection of heroes should be set. And above all, the date for Heroes Day should not be tied with any political event. It should be a politically neutral date. And you look at the life of Grenadians in different periods in our history, the contribution where they displayed heroism, the contribution to national development or development of people in any way, the bravery, the courage, and the excessive effort that they have made towards self or national development. But to tie it to a political date is very, very unwise, even stupid. Thank you.
Okay, caller, before I would have liked to ask you a question before you run off, but nonetheless, thanks for your contribution. All right, so folks, that's the idea. We want to hear from you, and the world listens, so make your meaningful contribution. What are your thoughts? Was the approach right? Was the date set? Is the right date? What are your concerns? I do believe we have another caller. Do we? Caller, good evening. Welcome. No. Okay, folks, the number to call is...
Yes, Innocent.
Yes, good evening. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, Innocent is here, boy.
Welcome.
Here, what's going on here?
Go right ahead.
Most time I trying to get into these programs. I doesn't get in, but I get in tonight.
Well, you won the lotto tonight.
And what I really want to do here, what I'm doing is I want to suggest that the right person and the most important person to make the hero of this 50th anniversary is Sir Eric Gary.
So Eric Matthew Gary.
A supporter of him. But this 50 years, they were celebrating 50 years of independence. And if you're going to support 50 years of independence, that is the exact and only person.
Yeah, but Caller, we're not really talking the independence aspect. Independence is next year. But as you know, Thursday this week, the 19th, is being celebrated as the inaugural Heroes Day, the first day that we are having this holiday.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you. Heroes in have to be a hero of Grenada. In had to be somebody who did a fight for something. But if we're looking at it too, this gentleman is the biggest hero that I have ever seen. Right? The things that this man did for Grenada, me ain't see nobody do it yet.
Okay.
You understand?
So in essence, he's your number one recommendation.
He is my number one.
Okay.
Whether it's for independent or any choice. Why? I could remember when he was fighting to get independence. They cut off electricity. They cut off water.
Who was they?
All kind of thing go on.
Who was they? Who did that?
The people who was against him.
Okay, so the folks who were opposing independence.
Against him, they had the people working with them, and they was fighting him. They didn't mind the independence, but it wasn't supposed to be. I remember that he said he gonna put the airport right where it is now. And I could remember there was a man who used to grow watermelon down there. And I was fortunate to pick 2 melons of the last crop that he had planted because the Prime Minister had paid him for what he had on it. And he take the spot and decide to use it for airport. The revolutionary government, there wasn't a government at the time, but there was fighting against it. And they say that place is a swamp. And look, he's saying he gonna make it. They laugh at him, they call him all kind of monkey things.
Okay.
He do so, and he decide he give the University School of Medicine when they wanted that spot. I think it was something like $1 a square foot or $2 a square foot. They run him down. They say the worst thing in the world is giving away the people's property, the nation's property for free. And that is one of the biggest investments that man have did, and it's still there, and it's moving on and on.
Okay.
If anybody must any hero, he must be the hero.
Okay, thank you, caller.
Everybody say, and I'll stick at that forever.
Thank you very much. That's your contribution, all right? That's the beauty of democracy, right? Everybody has a voice. So remember the number to call. That's what I want. I want you to tell me, I'm going to learn some things historically here tonight. 440-1252. What are your thoughts? The date selected for Heroes Day, and who would you like to suggest to be a hero? We just had this caller said that in his opinion the first hero should be Sir Eric Matthew Gary. Who is yours? 440-1252. I think we have a caller. Caller, good evening, welcome. No, unfortunately we don't. All right, so remember it's Heroes Day. The inaugural one is celebrated on this Thursday, the 19th of October. And
Can I go ahead?
Good evening, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good night, Innocent. How are you doing?
I am doing fine. How about you?
I'm good. I'm not going to complain.
Talk to me.
I personally has no problem with the National Heroes Day celebration for Eric Gary. He deserves it
But what I would like them to do, we have what we call, I don't know if it's a statue of him as we enter in the botanical garden. I think we should give it a bath.
A bath?
Yeah, you need a bath.
Okay.
I know he was a dark man, but it's way beyond. We need to clean that up.
Okay.
Just before we honor Sir Eric Matu. He deserves better than that. He too dark enter in the botanical garden day. It needs some kind of a touching up.
Okay. Let me ask you this before you run off. In terms of the date chosen, the October the 19th, are you okay with that date?
I have absolutely no problem with that date.
Okay.
Absolutely no problem.
Right. Next question. Besides Sir Eric Matu Gary, who else in Grenada's history, recent history, dating back to just before independence and coming forward, who else do you think made such a contribution that they can?
I am going to look at it at the educational level.
Okay, so in the education field.
I am going to look at Miss Ursula Antoine. She really made her mark in education. And I am going to look at Miss Shirley Agnes Broffett.
Okay.
Because a lot of these people that is shining and starring in Grenada today, I'm talking about the young generation that is starring and thinking, I think these people, they really deserve some kind of an honor.
Okay.
Shirley Broffett, this woman did a lot although her school was a private school, but this woman did a lot for education. She was at the brink of writing a book, may God rest her soul. Okay. So if in some way or the other they could honor Miss Ursula Broffett and Miss Ursula Antoine and Shirley Broffett, okay, I will really appreciate that. We can look around and see the amount of people that these two people impact, not them alone that did it, but in their field for the time they was around, I think they deserve some kind of honor.
I cannot say that I know Ms. Brathwaite well, but I know
that's the owner that she was the founder and the owner of Alpha Junior School, okay, and a lot of young people that is starring in society day to day. And I ain't talking about, if I go to name in what field they are, this woman, she did a lot.
Okay.
She did a lot, and I think other people could testify that.
Okay.
Other parents, other people in society, they could testify that. Okay. Miss Ursula Antoine, she did a lot too. Okay. May God rest their soul.
All right. Thank you very much, caller. Have a good night.
You're welcome.
All right, folks. I like this one. She says who she thinks should be and why. All right, that's the approach. She has no problem with the date selected. And these are in her opinion, 3 people that she thinks should be. Yes. Okay, so we do have another caller. Caller, welcome to the program. Good evening, caller. Welcome.
Good night.
Hi, how are you?
I am good.
Okay, welcome to the program.
Yes, I agree with Sir Eric Matu Gary as one of the heroes.
Okay.
But there were some people who helped on the night to go up in the dark place on the fort and sing from the national choir. I feel they are heroes too because they had to go out through the night in the old teachers' college.
Okay.
Mr. Masanto and all have to be there and singing with candles. So
well, you have a lot of powers tonight. Name somebody. Name a few of them.
Then I think you could get some people from the village, like a mother or grandmother who is doing a lot in a village, a lot of things. It's not only the people up there. We have people in the village who could be heroes because they're doing a lot in the villages. So we just have to look at more things than just the people up there.
Okay.
That's my contribution. Thank
you very much, caller. Thank you very much. All right, callers, viewers, we take a commercial break. We'll be back after these messages. It's Beyond the Headlines.
Join the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Fisheries and Cooperatives for the observance of World Food Day celebrations October 16th to 20th, 2023 under the theme Water is Life, Water is Food, Leave No One Behind. Monday, October 16th, the minister's address to the nation, and panel discussion dissecting the issue of water management and sustainability. Tuesday, Eating Water campaign with the distribution of water-based foods at strategic locations throughout Grenada. Wednesday and Thursday, virtual engagement on water management and the blue economy. The town of Grenville will then come alive on Friday, October 20th. Official ceremony, grand exhibition, and culture show. World Food Day Celebrations 2023, embracing all in the sustainable management of our water resources, celebrating our farmers, vendors, agro-processors, and value chain partners. World Food Day celebration, October 16th to the 20th, 2023.
But when you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. Oh, I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, yes, I can. Whenever you're in need, yes, you can. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever you road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever you road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next side, next side, next side, right next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Climate change is real, bringing hotter days and less rain. Less rain means less water, so it is crucial for all of us to conserve water at home. When washing my fruits and vegetables, I use a bowl of water, and later I reuse it to water my plants. This is how I save water at home. What are you waiting for?
It's Beyond the Headlines for today, Monday. It is the 16th day of October already. Yeah, Christmas is just around the corner. What else is also right around the corner is our inaugural Heroes Day, carded for the 19th of October. It starts with an ecumenical service at the National Stadium, and nationals are urged to contact their parliamentary offices in the various constituencies to make arrangements for transportation to get there. There will also be part of the celebration of the day will be the tolling of the bells nationwide, and also the lighting tributes that will be held on the Carnage. It is the first Heroes Day, and as I said earlier, one of the dictionary's definition for a hero is a person who is admired for their courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities. Now, the conversation tonight is, I want you to call me. You create the headlines tonight, we'll write the news and read it tomorrow. All right, tell me, what are your thoughts on the dates selected? Firstly, then also, from your point of view, who would you like to see being celebrated as a hero? I believe we do have a caller. Remember the number that you can call in to share in the conversation. It's 440-1252. Caller, good evening and welcome.
Good evening.
Welcome to the program.
Yeah. Firstly, I agree with the dates for acknowledging heroes. Secondly, I would like to nominate Mrs. Ann Peters. She started as a junior nurse. She reached the highest point of nursing in terms of, like if you put it, it's called Michelle Police. And then
a comparison.
She teached.
Okay.
In terms, she teached in SU. I think she's still teaching.
Okay.
But outside of nursing, she's a cultural ambassador up to this day. She's a cultural ambassador.
So you would like to nominate Ms. Ann Peters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mrs. Ann Peters.
Mrs. Ann Peters.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, caller.
All right.
Thank you very much. The number to call, 440-1252. It's like nomination day. I'd beg to nominate, or I'd like to nominate, and you say why. All right, so give me a call. Tell me, what are your thoughts? The date, one, and also who you think should be selected as a hero and why. Let's go back to the telephone line. Good evening, caller. Welcome to the program.
October 19th, eh? I think we should make it.
Caller, you need to turn down whatever you have in the back.
Yes.
Okay. I'm hearing you now. Go right ahead.
Get to me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, what I'm saying, right? October 19th. I didn't think they should have made it. That's in my views, right?
Yeah, that's what I want. I want to hear from you.
We should make it a day of remembrance. Everybody come out and wear black. It's a remembrance day. And just have and the Heroes Day is like, remember June 19th, 1980, with the bomb blast in Queen's Park. One young lady has been survived, and she greatly, you should recognize her for that.
So you have a problem with the date?
For that.
You have a problem? You don't think it should be October 19th?
Instead of October 19th, because you already have the 25th as a holiday. So they should put June 19th as a holiday, whatever they want.
Okay.
That's my sort of.
And if you are asked to select someone to be a hero, who is your hero?
I would say, well, for Jackie, that's with who's the one lost her leg in the bomb blast.
Jackie Bailey.
Yeah, Miss Bailey, yeah.
All right, Jackie, good night. You're right. So you've been nominated for a hero. Anybody second in that? Thank you very much, caller. All right, folks, the number to call is 440-1252. A very interesting point. June 19th. That's another date that is historic to Grenada. But that date wasn't selected. However, the 19th of October was selected. So what are your thoughts on that? The date selected, and some concerns were raised as to who are the people making the selection and what is the correlation with it when the king, I almost said the queen, but it's no longer the queen, it's the king's honorary list comes out annually. How do they correlate and so forth? What are your concerns? 440-1252. I believe we do have another caller on the line. Caller, good evening and welcome.
Yes, good evening, Innocent.
How are you?
Well, I am good.
Nice.
I am listening to the discussion, and more, I am just so confused, yes? Because I'm saying we starting and stop too much. We starting and stop. Okay, there are people who have been following the revolution. June 19th, we was celebrating Heroes Day.
So June 19th was celebrated as Heroes Day before?
Yes, and Butler Strawn and Alice Butler, Urias Butler and
yes,
Alistair Strawn were the heroes.
Okay.
That was the day when Jackie got bombed,
Okay.
It was called Butler, but it was to celebrate those two heroes, Butler Strawn Day.
Okay.
Yeah? When we also used to, we continue to celebrate the brave men again who left Grenada and went to fight in World Wars I and II, and that is Remembrance Day on the 11th of November, because they were very brave. Some of them went all to Egypt and things.
Yes.
Yes. Then we have again some brave little Grenadians who saw it fit, who obeyed. They obeyed the command to take on the American army. Some little PRA members. Their bodies are in the cemetery there. Only private people go and pray, and so they're not recognized nationally as heroes. But
and you're talking that those are the events of October 83?
In 83.
Yes.
So I am saying it is not clear what is the reason for calling October 19th Heroes Day. It is not clear, because we don't know that we have any new heroes. We not even aware of the criteria. But we're going and toll bell and so it's looking like it's a kind of sham. It's looking like it is really for the events of the 4th, but they're not saying that. Because on November 11, when we pray, we go to the gardens and we pray for the brave Grenadians who went and fight, who answered the call to, and they went and fight in World Wars I and II. Some of them reached Egypt and so,
Yeah.
Yes, and I don't know that we told bell and thing for them. Yeah. Some of them died.
You seem, from what you're saying, you seem to have a problem with the whole celebration of it. All right.
I am confused that the day is the name of the day, because you see, when I listen to interviews on your station, they every little minute they interjecting and saying it is not for what happened on the 4th, 1983. They would say that, but then everything else, if you look at the events for the day, everything else points to what happened that day. Why are you tolling bell? Why are you going to say prayers for those who were killed or who no longer with us and from that day? Even Dr. Marisho and them who kept calling all through the years for the day to be a holiday. You know what their group is called? Martyrs Group, not heroes. Yeah?
Okay.
So more I listen, the more I am confused, because they're not actually saying that it is upon the 4th, but actions speak louder than words. But again, Jackie is my horse. Little Jackie Bailey is my horse. Yes. Jackie has to be a hero. She survived that bomb. And she grew up on her one leg. She went to school. She did all kind of courses, all kind of studies. She became, she learned
a powerhouse. She is a powerhouse.
In a male-dominated world.
She's a powerhouse, yes.
And today, because she was technically inclined,
Yes.
So she was a good camera lady and all that, and
a good producer.
Technical things. Today she showed people. She's a great example of showing people that with my disability, with my one leg, I still will succeed. Jackie has to be a little hero.
And I second that.
Be a hero.
I second that motion.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, caller. 440-1252 beyond the headlines. Tell me, what are your thoughts on the day chosen for Heroes Day, and who would you like to see celebrated as a hero, and why? That's the narrative. That's the conversation this evening. We do have another caller. Caller, good evening and welcome.
Yes, I still maintain that the date for Heroes Day should be politically neutral. And tonight I'm naming one they should make a national hero. Simple and straight. Do it until he's dead.
That's whom?
Kirani James.
Kirani James. Okay. All right. Good. Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much. 440-1252. This caller is suggesting that any date that is selected should not have any political undertones. All right. What are your thoughts? They matter tonight. You creating the headline tonight. We'll write the news in the morning. All right, 440-1252. We do have a caller. Caller, good evening and welcome.
Thank you. Good night. Well, the truth is I didn't hear much of what led up to the holiday being selected. But I must say that I do think we should have had like some kind of referendum where citizens could have decided truthfully. Okay. And I do believe that if it's being celebrated on the 19th, it should not be called Heroes Day. I do believe that the people who died on the 19th should be remembered. It should be like a remembrance type of day, or even as the lady referred to Dr. Marisho's group, Martyrs Day. I believe they should be remembered. I've always wondered why anybody else but Dr. Marasho pushed for that. But the truth is, because of my age, I can't really nominate a hero. I don't know anybody really. Maybe Kirani, as that previous person said, but like the previous lady who called, I was really glad to hear her because I didn't know about the lady who got bombed on June 19 because I was like Jackie Gaga then, so yes. I didn't know about that. So I don't mind hearing others talk about who they would nominate. But yes, I would more use that same list when they nominate people for the Queen. If they want to have a separate National Heroes Day and they want to take people from that list, no problem, but not for October the 19th. Okay. For me, that's Remembrance Day for those who died. That was a tragic day, and I've always wondered, ever since I've been a child, why it wasn't a holiday for that reason.
Okay, so this brings me to another question. Now, we also have October the 25th. So right. What should happen there?
Well, you see, this was set up before I have any mind of my own, but I don't have a problem with observing that day to thank the Americans and the other countries who helped to get the country back on solid ground. But to me, that was, I don't know, something within me was always the 19th that really was the date. Okay. It's like, for example, it's like this. September 11th in the States happened, right? Every year after September the 11th, 2001, the Americans remember those who died on September the 11th, 2002, going up the road, right? They don't celebrate it a few days later and thank anybody who came and helped restore. They remember the people who died on that date. Okay. That's kind of my rationale with the October the 19th. Okay. We remember those who died on the 19th, and we want to call it like Remembrance Day or Martyrs Day. Not Heroes Day. Heroes Day could be another day. Okay. Sorry.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Have a good evening. 440-1252. Your voice matters. All right, that's the number to call and share your thoughts. The date selected for Heroes Day. Now I'm getting another conversation. Some folks are having concerns with the branding of it, whether it's Heroes Day or Matters Day or whatever. We do have another caller. Caller, good evening and welcome.
Hi, good evening, sir.
Welcome to the program.
Well, I must say the naming of the day is a little bit maybe disturbing.
Okay.
The 19th is associated with a particular event, and if we want to commemorate it, or if we want to remember it, then we must remember it for what it was. That great tragedy in our history,
Yes, it was a tragic day.
To dodge a wrong or to hide a wrong a name, makes it difficult. I know the politics involved to a point. I know that, that probably the name was covered. It was covered because, you know how it goes. Not everybody was in favor of the revolution at any particular time. And then when the revolution came, you had factions. And so pleasing everybody is quite difficult. But I still believe that a better effort could have been made to find a name for the day.
So let me ask you this. Do you think that they should have had a sort of consultation, or as somebody else previously said, a referendum on that?
Well, I don't think that is quite necessary. I mean, history is history, and you want to celebrate a particular historic moment. And that historic moment was the slaying of a number of persons on the foot, because of, a certain tension, right? So, if you have a referendum, it doesn't go plus or minus.
Okay.
I mean, if you pick Little Grenada, we have 3-4 sites. At the point of the revolution, at the point of October 19, there was still a number of supporters of the GOLP, right? That might have been about 40% of the population, or 50% of the population. Quite a few of them have died off. But still, you have those people who were anti-revolution, and so they will have a hang up about that.
A bitter taste in their mouth.
Yeah. And even the fellas who are fighting during that day, the other faction will feel, a little bit deprived because what they were fighting against is now being honored. Okay. So it's a tough call, but I still think that we better job fighting that day. I mean, the fact is we want to remember that day in history. It should be remembered, because it was a day when friends became enemies.
Yeah.
And so it should be well remembered. But to say heroes, I don't think that's the best word for that day, because if you just limit it to those who died on the 4th, some people are excluded. Okay. If you add Mr. Gary, it kind of tarnishes the whole day because, Mr. Gary died a natural, peaceful death, you know what I mean?
Right.
He'd have done a lot for the country, of course. And probably maybe on his birthday, you could remember Sir Eric Matthews. He was a great man. He was a brains, But
right. So like in Trinidad they have Uriah Day.
All right. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Things like that could happen, Again, when we talk heroes, I like to think of people who would have given a lot, given their life for something, and some of the nominees tonight have not yet quite given their life.
Okay.
That's my stand.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much. 440-1252, that's the number to call to share your thoughts and ideas as it relates to our inaugural Heroes Day coming up on the 19th of October. All right. We do have a caller on the line. Caller, good evening and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good night, Innocent.
Welcome.
Good night to your viewers and your listeners.
Thank you.
I was trying to restrain myself from calling because I didn't want to add to the conversation at this time. I think I will talk about it at a later stage. But Josephine, if I don't mind calling her name, I want to agree with some of the things she said in terms of the fact that we had a Heroes Day already, June 19th. And I would have probably agree that some of the people don't remember that. And also one of your callers called and said that she didn't know about the young lady, but in Turkey song, that's why people have to learn to appreciate calypso. There were some of those things I've written in history. I think even the guy died, there was something, so it means people are not fully aware of all the aspects of our country. But let me say this. First of all, we spent quite a bit of money years ago on a flawed Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Nobody knows what's the result of that. So I think one of the first things we do, if we want to incorporate all aspects of Grenada, we need to have something, we have to start at reconciliation. And we are afraid of that because it's painful. And until we really face the truth. Dr. Alexis attempted some years ago to have a national award system right after organization I was in honored some outstanding Grenadians for International Women's Day. So he had come up with something. I think there's even some laws about that, the national how to nominate. So there's some precedent. You need to look at that. But what I think, I know I can't stay the whole night, but I think we should use this occasion to set the tone. I don't think anybody should be nominated as a hero this year. But we prepare for the next year, in the 50th anniversary, when we will announce the first hero. And I think we need to look at people like certainly Julian Fellow, Butler, as you said, and a few others. We need to, because without them, they're setting the tone and the rhythm. We would not have had the Gary and the Bishop and the others. So we need to put things in perspective and start from there. But I would say more in later time.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much, caller. All right, thank you oh so much. 440-1252. And I'm happy that we're having this conversation tonight. At least we're getting to hear from a sort of cross-section of people's take on the Heroes Day, the date, the name, and even the selection process. We do have another caller on the line. Good evening, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good evening.
Welcome to the program.
Good evening, sir. I'm thinking about this Heroes Day for the 19th. So many people lost their lives. So many people are in mourning. Who are the heroes? Are they the dead ones or those who caused the death?
Okay, well, in my understanding, right, I do not think the heroes are necessarily coming from the activities of October 19th. All right, I don't think that's the main criteria for selecting the heroes, but I would want to think, let me correct this because I will be corrected. I think that it will be, the heroes will be selected from people who made their contributions, in our recent history, dating back to, just before independence and coming forward. But as you just heard, a caller mentioned Julian Fedor, Uriah Buzz Butler, although he made his mark mostly in Trinidad. We also have Theophilus Albert
But sir,
Marichaud.
the mere fact that it is placed on the 19th, it brings a different message.
So you have a problem with the date?
It was okay, but on the 19th, think of what happened. Their students lost their lives. So many people lost their lives. And who are the heroes? Is it Bernard Code? Is he one of the heroes that encouraged this sort of thing? No, it annoys me. I don't know, asking Jesus to watch over us in Grenada because I don't know what is happening to us. Or why couldn't we wait and have discussion at different levels before we just up and about in a few minutes, say 19th, and the church is ringing bell. Ringing bell for what? I don't understand. Ringing bell for what?
Okay.
So you have a mass, you have a service, ecumenical service in the morning, bell rings at 1 o'clock and set in the evening. That is hypocrisy. That is hypocrisy, and I don't know.
Well, I'm happy you got the avenue to let your voice be heard. Okay? Thank you very much, caller. Folks, we take our final commercial break in the program. We'll be back. Don't you go anywhere. When we get back, I want to hear from you. We'll be back.
Climate change is real, bringing hotter days and less rain. Less rain means less water, so it's crucial for us to conserve water at home. When washing my vehicle, I use a bucket with rainwater that I have stored. This is how I save water. What are you waiting for?
Join the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Fisheries and Cooperatives for the observance of World Food Day celebrations October 16th to 20th, 2023 under the theme Water is Life, Water is Food, Leave No One Behind. Monday, October 16th, the ministers address to the nation and panel discussion dissecting the issue of water management and sustainability. Tuesday, Eating Water campaign with the distribution of water-based foods at strategic locations throughout Grenada. Wednesday and Thursday, virtual engagement on water management and the blue economy. The town of Grenville will then come alive on Friday, October 20th. Official ceremony, grand exhibition, and culture show. World Food Day celebrations 2023, embracing all in the sustainable management of our water resources, celebrating our farmers, vendors, agro-processors, and value chain partners. World Food Day celebrations, October 16th to the 20th, 2023.
Plug into Digicel Plus and get even more entertainment with Disney Plus included. The best of Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and and National Geographic all in one place. Whenever you want, plug into Plus to enjoy Disney Plus and much more with a home fiber bundle. Sign up today. Digicel Plus.
On October 19th, 2023, Grenada pauses in solemn reflection and commemoration on our first National Heroes Day. Grenadians everywhere are asked to join in all the activities which begin at 9 a.m. with an ecumenical service at the National Stadium. Come out and honor our loved ones through prayers, heartfelt tributes, and the soothing harmonies of the PBC choir. Listen for the church bells toll in unison across the nation at 1 p.m. and in collective reverence, pay our respect with a minute of silence. As the day closes, we gather with our candles on the carronage at 7 p.m. for a light tribute in final homage to those no longer with us. Let us remember and honor our loved ones together on National Heroes Day, October 19th, 2023. Please contact your local parliamentary office to arrange transportation.
Listeners, we're into the final segment of Beyond the Headlines, and we're talking first National Heroes Day, which comes up on Thursday the 19th. You just heard it. We are accepting and appreciating your calls as you share your thoughts and your ideas as to the date, the selection, and the activities. What are your thoughts? 440-1252, that is the number to call. Caller, good evening and welcome to the program. Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, welcome to the program.
Thank you. You know, as we talk about October 19th, it is indeed a bit confusing because, like someone mentioned before, who are the martyrs, who are the heroes, who we celebrating for October 19th. But I just want to say that we used to celebrate June 19 during the Revolution as Heroes Day. And like somebody earlier alluded to, we should probably politicize the day, because I think when you talk in these terms, you usually think about two people in this modern era, Gary and Maurice Bishop. So the people who who supported Gary see Gary as the number one national hero, and those who supported Bishop see Bishop as the number one hero. But if we would depoliticize it, then that would really, because I think one of the early callers said it sounds confusing. But I just want to suggest the late Nadika McIntyre, because she represented Grenada in 3 sporting disciplines. Good night.
Thank you very much, caller. Nadika McIntyre. Okay, I like this. You too can share your 2 pence. You can let your voice be heard. The number to call, it's 440-1252. What are your thoughts? I believe we do have another caller. Caller, good evening and welcome. Okay. All right. So the number 440-1252, we're looking at our first National Heroes Day, which comes up on Thursday the 19th of October, and it will be a public holiday, and it will be, as of Thursday, it will be down in our annals as National Heroes Day. So next year, the 19th, it's another public holiday, Heroes Day number 2. What are your thoughts as it relates to the date, as it relates to the selections and so forth? We do have another caller. Good evening, caller. Welcome to the program.
Yes, thank you, Innocent, for allowing me to just add one more name. There was a little man from St. David's, Cunha. The revolutionaries would know him, Cunha. He built beetle traps to save the cocoa industry. When the beetles were destroying the cocoa industry, a man called Cunha was held up in high esteem for building his little cocoa traps, and that saved the cocoa industry. There was a big celebration for him during the revolution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. St. David, come on. How come no one called before and nominated Cunha? I don't know who Cunha is, but you should. The older folks, the aging folks up there. And that's the idea. All right? You're from St. Patrick. Who do you think in St. Patrick should be nominated as a hero? All right? I am not going to call names, but I know quite a number of people. With my little history of going through Macdonald College, I get to know, quite a number of people from St. Patrick who've got heroic traits. So that's the idea. We have a caller on the line. Caller, good evening and welcome.
Evening. I'm calling in for the program here.
Go right ahead. You're live.
Right. Mr.
You need to turn down the volume on your television, please, and communicate via the telephone.
I'm suggesting. All right. Are you hearing me now?
Loud and clear.
All right. I'm suggesting if the 19th going to be Heroes Day.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
It's going to be the 17th that's been up on the hill.
Okay. So you think if the date is the 19th, the 17 that were up on the hill should be the heroes?
Yes, they are the heroes.
Okay. What's your... justify that for me.
Yes, they are the heroes because it's them who... well, they shot down the people up on the foot.
Uh-huh.
So...
Okay. I get your drift. Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. All right. 440-1252. If the 19th is Heroes Day, he's saying that the people who were incarcerated for the 17, as they were referred to, should be the heroes. And that's the beauty of democracy. Everybody's got an opinion. All right. And you have the ability to voice your opinion. I love Grenada. 440-1252. That's the number to call. St. Mark. Who had some heroics in St. Mark? I know some names, but I cannot call. I want you to call me and tell me. We do have a caller on the line. Good evening, caller. Welcome to the program.
Yes, good evening to you, sir.
I was waiting for someone from St. David.
How are you today?
I am fine. How about you?
Quiet,
Good.
Now, if we talk about heroes, and that lady, I think is Jojo, who called and she said she will evaluate Cunha. Cunha, but Cunha.
Yes, Cunha.
Yeah, yes, because he saved the cocoa, right?
Uh-huh.
From the cocoa beetles.
Right.
So if anything was a hero, a national hero, not a revolutionary, he should get that,
So you think a national hero is revolutionary?
Not a revolutionary, true sense of the word. Revolution, as we know, shooting on people. No. Revolution for turning the country from where it was to an economic giant in the cocoa.
Okay.
But I am struggling with that because should it be what you call a day of reflection? The 2 days, the days of reflection, instead of a holiday. Because you see, I think the politics is playing so heavily in that everything has to be politics. And we focus on these things. And there's other part of the economy that we're not touching. I wish we could put some more effort into the growing of the economy where we can create more jobs. Right? Revenue. Because this is going to stop up our energies, take a lot of money, and eventually the revenue side of the country is not going to replace that. That is expenditure.
So you think Heroes Day is a burden?
It is a burden. It will be a burden. We must, certain history, we have this as it's history. So we're not we're going to forget it. We put it in books and we buy the books and we read the books. But to take every event and put these energies in it and neglecting other part of the economy that should take care of these areas, for instance, financially. We leave in this area behind. The economy is struggling. The economy is struggling. While we are spending money, not knowing how we're going to replace the money we spend. So we should put more effort in building and growing the economy, putting in to creating jobs and revenue.
Having said that, caller, I do appreciate your concern from an economic perspective. And in terms of zeroing in on the focal point, Heroes Day, who, in your opinion, who would you like to suggest or nominate or recommend for a hero?
Well, as I said, I would recommend Acuna. I am not going to make anybody a hero for damaging the economy, for damaging the country, damaging all life. I'm not going to make you a hero for that at all.
Thank you, caller. Have a good evening. 440-1252. You create the headlines, we'll write the news. That's the way we do it this evening. I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts? Heroes Day, or first National Heroes Day, is up this Thursday. We have another caller on the line. Good evening, caller. Welcome to the program. Okay, we lost that caller. The number to call, 440-1252. I'm not hearing anybody from Carriacou. Carriacou is part and parcel of this. All right, Carriacou, what are your thoughts? Who from Carriacou is historic in its own right, but it's part of, we're one place. So we do have a caller. Caller, good evening, welcome.
Good night, good night,
welcome to the program.
Our heroes, Our heroes should be headmasters who do all good education part for children to go in this time, Agricultural workers, people who take part to build this country should be heroes. Who retire, who are alive, we should recognize them, All those headmasters who pass, who are wrong right now still, recognize them. Mr. Ashby is a first class man.
Okay.
Mr. Ashby has to be on the head.
So that's
your men more headmasters who resign, who never appreciate what they have done for the generations of the people, never appreciate them. The agricultural workers, the fish vendor, but everybody who contribute for Grenada for the past, we're going to give them a hero, recognize them now. What they have done.
But would you want to recognize every single one?
Yeah, recognize them because them contribute for the nation. Go forward, But even Uncle Gary, as people mentioned in the past, the hero. Gary did a lot of Grenada, anything we benefit today in Grenada, so Uncle Gary Foundation,
Okay.
He fought England for Grenada and to fight slavery for Grenada. So when we benefit today, we have to call the name. But just because the bright boys didn't wait on the time, they force themselves and they force themselves out, but they had to wait the time, they'll be all know.
Okay.
They force themselves out.
All right.
They take time to do everything, but them guys, man. They have to control build a boss, you have to go to build.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, caller. 440-1252. We're wrapping up. We're in the wrapping up phase, but I'd still like to hear from you. I was saying Carriacou and Pidi Martinic. All right? Carriacou and Pidi Martinic. Give us a call. Make a nomination. What are your thoughts on the date selected? All right? Are you happy with it? I want to hear from you. We have a caller on the line. Good evening, caller. Good evening.
I'm glad I get through.
I'm happy you get through too.
Yeah,
because I was waiting to hear from you.
Hold on. It seems to me as if you were on the committee. So you know who they selected?
I don't
know. You seem to be on the committee.
No, I don't.
I would have thought, sing Calisto, and I could remember you sang a Calisto, that a man ran, or a old lady run from Balthazar to something when somebody died because
no,
of
not me that sing that. That was
I
a
hope
good
you
friend.
recommend that person. Because you see why I say that. I don't even know the criteria and who I think you'd be on the list of being recognized as a hero. And I could remember a man catch another man. He was falling from a tree. I hope you recommend him. I can't remember the man's name.
Okay.
So what I want you to do, you selected the people to be heroes. So please tell me the names now, because you and others commenting who should be hero. Sometimes by chance, it's my name there and your name, you know, because you are a hero in broadcasting and in putting forth what you want. All of us are heroes. I hope my name there too.
I believe
Thank
that.
You. But I show you, Uncle Jerry should have been a hero. Imagine how he beat out the odds when they took him on a boat and they took him. So his name should be mentioned as a hero.
Okay.
Imagine one man's fat, and they physically fat. They couldn't do nothing when they take him and bring him on the boat. So I guess you put him as a hero. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Have a good one. He's a nice guy. I like this guy. 440-1252. We're winding down. I must say that I am happy that we had that line of programming tonight, so it gives the relevant authorities the opportunity to hear the voices of the people, the concerns, and so forth. So I know the committee members who are doing the selection, they are, tuned in and make the right decisions. We do have another caller? Okay, we don't. All right, folks, I'm going to, give you a minute or two. If we don't have a call within then, I'd like to say thank you for your contributions. The countdown is on. It's been a meaningful conversation as far as I'm concerned. I know we do have a last caller.
Hey.
Good evening, caller.
Good afternoon.
Good evening. How are you?
They're looking on.
All right. Good. Talk to me.
Yeah, hello. Hello, sir. I'm all right, sir.
Okay.
Concerning that day.
Before you go further, could you just turn the volume of your television down, please? Lovely.
All right. Okay.
Now talk to me.
All right. Push it.
Go right ahead.
Hold on. Just hold on.
No problem.
All right.
Lovely.
Okay, just hold on. Right.
You have it right now?
Right. That day
is
a very historical day. And our history, our history have to be recorded.
Okay.
Have to be recorded. That day should be Remembrance Day.
So you don't like it as Heroes Day? Caller, you are sounding good, all right? You don't need to hear yourself. I'm hearing you and you're sounding good.
It was a very tragic day. And it's a day we always remember.
Okay, caller, you like hearing yourself. All right. Folks, I'd like to wrap it up here, but again, I'd like to thank you for your inputs. I know to the relevant authorities it meant a whole lot. They get an idea as to where the nation's people are thinking, and they are going to take some things into consideration, I hope. Okay, and each and every one of you that called into the program tonight, you made a meaningful conversation, a meaningful contribution to the conversation, and I wish you all the best. We look forward to Heroes Day, our first National Heroes Day that comes up on Thursday the 19th. Thank you for being a part of the program. Until next time, I'm Gordon Joseph. Peace out.